half months before we are on equal footing with men. On average, women are paid 73 cents for every dollar that a man makes. The wage gap widens when we're talking about women of color. Latina women are paid on average 49 cents for every dollar that a man makes. Native American women, 50 cents, and African American women, 58 cents. Now, this morning we are turning to the money coach, Khalfani-Cox, who's going to share some negotiation strategies with us that'll help close that wage gap. We need to do that. Good morning, Lynette. Thanks so much for being with us.
Hi there, Hazel. Great to be with you, especially on this day.
Yes, a very important day. So has the wage gap gotten any smaller than in the previous years?
No, sadly, we're
Wow.
still very much lacking. And the wage gap, in fact, leads to a whole bunch of gaps, a savings gap, a retirement gap. And so we really do have to address one of the things that we can do within our power, which is to try to negotiate more aggressively and successfully for those pay raises that we all want and need and deserve.
Well, let me ask you this, though. What kind of impact is the pandemic and what we're calling the Great Resignation? What's that having on, what kind of impact is it having on wage disparities between men and women?
Well, one of the things that we know is that the Great Resignation has actually given a lot of us a lot more leverage. We have a lot more, let's say, buying power in the
Yeah.
marketplace than we might presume, because frankly, there are millions of jobs that have gone unfilled, and we know that women have largely been the predominant number of workers who have checked out of the workforce due to a whole host of factors, caregiving duties, et
Yeah.
cetera.
So
But
women,
again, it's an opportunity for us.
yeah, I mean, we have to be our biggest advocates, right? I mean, our own biggest advocates when it comes to equal pay. So you've actually outlined some steps that can improve our chances. So can you start with the first one? You say it's important to do our homework. What does that mean?
Right. Well, doing your homework means arming yourself with information. There is absolutely no position that you should be applying for, no promotion that you should be seeking where you don't know the salary range or even specifically perhaps the exact salary being offered for that position. There's places like Glassdoor, salary.com, et cetera, where you can get salary information. Even asking around for colleagues or other people who work in similar positions at other companies can give you a much stronger sense of the salary range.
You know what's interesting is there's also somewhat of a generational gap within women. You know, the younger women and older women. Older women have a harder time accepting or realizing their value. So you actually advise women to create a praise folder. So what is that exactly?
Right. So I have to actually give my husband credit for this. He told me this many years ago. Um, a praise folder is all about creating a list of all of your accomplishments. It's a documented sort of checklist of all of the kudos that you've received from others. So anytime perhaps your boss, a client, a coworker, a vendor, anybody has said to you, you did such a great job on this project. Wow, you really saved the organization X amount of money. You brought in these new clients. You increased our social media following by X%, et cetera. You should keep track of all of those things. I don't care if it's a message that you got over Slack or over email,
Yeah.
whatever the case might be. Take a copy or print out of that, put it in your praise folder because it's going to help you later with your negotiations.
Yeah, and it helps you realize what your value is, right? And you say that's one of the key negotiation strategies, to lead with value. Can you give us an example of that?
Right. Sure. Leading with value is really all about asserting and documenting, as I've just described,
Mm-hmm.
what your economic value is to the company and how it is that you benefit the organization. So when I tell people to lead with value, it's really about negotiating from a position of strength and not from a position of need or greed. So sometimes we come to our employers, and now is a classic, case where we might say, "Oh wow, inflation is on the rise. Gas costs a lot more. It's more expensive for childcare or food." The employers don't want to hear that. That's really, frankly, not their problem. And that's negotiating from a position of need. You really want to negotiate from a position of strength. You'll be backed up and armed with the information that's contained in your praise folder, where you can say empirically, statistically, factually, here are the assets and the value that I've brought to the company over the last year or 6 months.
And
And again, that praise folder is your information.
And Lynette, just real quickly, when you're talking about what our needs are, it's not always about money, isn't it? When you're talking about equal pay.
That's right. I really encourage women